What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to Some Dungeon Defenders Awakened. This one is by request from viewers of my live streams, and that is an entry-level, insane survival build. Now, we all know that the best gear comes from late waves of survival. Obviously, insane is the highest difficulty, and people are curious exactly how soon you can bust into it. So what I've done is gone through all of my characters. I've stripped them down quite a bit, and basically I'm trying to simulate where someone would be after completing like hard mode campaign. So I'm bringing along a squire, huntress, an apprentice, and a monk, the original 4 heroes. As you can see by all of them, I've got all of their stats dialed way down. So I got the majority of their gear removed. I've got none of their spec in, just to simulate what a lower entry-level build would be at. So I've got a main stat right at around 100 with varying other stats. This one, of course, is going to be my walls. So we've got 108 in Fortify. And then we've got a Huntress for traps. Same thing there. Stripped her all down. We're at 100 in power. 22 fort, 22 range, 24 rate. Pretty easy numbers to achieve, especially with your points. Then we've got an apprentice, all stripped down as well. 39 fort, 123 power, 33 range, 44 rate. And then last but not least, we've got the monk. I've got the monk coming in at 138 power. That's actually probably a little bit high. Let me go ahead and drop that down to 99 power, 18 fort, 28 range, and 32 defense rate. So definitely an entry-level build, and that is why we're on the Deeper Well. It doesn't get any easier than the Deeper Well survival, and this is a pretty decent starting point for anyone that's wanting to jump in and check out some endgame survival. So let's go ahead and set things up. I will be DPSing on my monk, which, you know, terrible, absolutely terrible DPS, just barely in the hundreds. However, that's what we're going to be using for this one, and let's see, we've got 100 left, so why don't we start off with, say, do we want to go an Electricar? Yeah, let's go ahead and go with an Electricar on each lane. Now, we are going to be splitting the lane here, so it's going to cover the top and the bottom of it, so we want to place it accordingly. And let's go ahead and get wave 1 started and collect up some mana. Now, I'm not going to go through the entire survival run. I'm going to kind of jump through once we get the build in place and get various, really milestones, I guess, completed, like getting things upgraded. Now, in addition, on the upgrades, I'm not going to upgrade anything more than 3 times. So I won't even upgrade to tier 4. Of course, you have to be level 60 to do the final upgrade, but we're not even going to do upgrade 5 either. So no upgrade 5, no tier 5, no tier 6. It's only going to be tier 4 stuff only. So let's go ahead and go with a strength drain aura now. Going to be a little tight on the DU here, I think. We'll have to see. We got a strength drain aura in place, and we've got room to actually go ahead and start filling in. So I'm going to go ahead and start filling in the rest of the build, even though the rest of the mobs aren't here yet. So let's go with a wall right there, and then another wall right here. Now, of course, placing these so that we're able to split the auras. Now, what next? We've got 28 left. We could go, say, 1 flame burst per lane, or actually we don't have enough left for that yet. So let's go ahead and let 1 more wave fly here and see if we can't get this continued along just a little bit further. Now remember, survival is not about beating it. It's about getting a pet, first off, which you get at wave 15. And then it's just about pushing as far as you can. Now, of course, the farther you make it, the better upgrades you're going to have, and the nicer the loot that you're going to find. So, our goal here is to just make it as far as we can, and ideally past wave 15, so we, at a minimum, get a pet out of the deal. Now, let's see, what next? Do we want to go with those flame bursts? I'm tempted to go with some traps here, too, but let's go ahead and go with 1 flame burst per lane here. We've got that strength drain aura, so we might as well take advantage of it. So we've got that one flame burst is going to split those lanes, and then we've got 18 left. So that's not leaving an absolute ton. I think what I'll do is go with maybe an explosive trap just on each lane right here. Now, we could end up having some flyers that are, or pardon me, not flyers, range mobs that are a little bit out of our reach here. So we're going to have to pay attention to those, that's for sure. But let's see, let's go ahead and get explosive trap just right on each wall. That way when anything starts bunching up on the wall, it's a good game. And then we've got 6 left. Now, one thing about the Huntress is her traps are just so good. The Inferno trap is the only trap that's really just straight up bad. The gas trap and the darkness trap are both absolute beasts. And I think what we're going to do here is we're going to use a gas trap, but we're going to split the lane with it. And that will allow us to get 2 lanes. We'll get poor coverage of 2 lanes instead of good coverage of 1 lane. So let's go ahead and just go like that. And I think from there we are complete. So let's go ahead and get some upgrades in place. Start off with these flame bursts. And then let's just let it fly here and get some of these items upgraded. Once again, just going to take stuff to tier 4. So 3 upgrades. Not going to go to tier 5, not going to go to tier 6 on any item at all. Wow, just not doing any damage. It's kind of pointless for me to even go down there and do anything. So I think I will just hang back. Hang back and maybe drop a tower boost. Even with no points into your tower boost ability, which is actually the skill stat, you're still going to get more than double the damage output of your tower. So it's definitely something, easy way early on to really get some massive tower effectiveness is just by slapping that boost down. It's just good stuff. And then let's just continue on again. And I think from here we'll just go ahead and jump on forward to a point where, you know, we've got a few upgrades in place and things are looking a little bit better. So let's hop on forward once we get this built out just a little bit. Alright, here we are back in wave number 11, and I've got everything on the map now upgraded to tier 4. Nothing's been taken up to 5, and to be honest with you, it's turned into an absolutely repair simulator, which, you know, can happen when you're first starting survival mode. Now, in addition to that, I got just no DPS, so it's been absolutely miserable trying to kill ogres. But, you know, if you don't let your wall die, then eventually you're going to win, even though it may not be the quickest experience burning through these high health ogres. All you have to do is keep your walls alive, and you're going to win the match. That's just all there is to it. Now, as you see, this is the quality of loot dropping. We've got 400 purples just laying around all over the place. I'm sure we can't be too far off from finding some nice legendary loot as well. Of course, we got our fair share of junk laying around too. But really, altogether, looking pretty solid. There's some nice gloves, a nice miner helmet. All this stuff is really just going to help you get through, not just into, but get through insane mode really, really quick. Like literally every wave, you can end up getting massive upgrades. But let's go ahead and check out wave number 11 in action. As I mentioned, it's a little bit grueling when we get to the ogres, but until then, we should be in pretty good shape. I'm just going to run this dark elf back over here. Obviously didn't work out for me, which is unfortunate, but just trying to keep the dark elf warriors from wrecking anything. And you know, since I don't really have any DPS, there's no point in me trying to fake it, so spend the wave getting stuff repaired. Make sure everything stays full. Don't let anything drop down. At this point, since we're not upgrading anymore, there's just so much mana where you can just blow tons and tons and tons of mana repairing. The traps, I think the health was a little low for the traps, and that definitely became a little grueling. And here we'll see our wonderful, not so speedy ogre kill in action. So I'm going to throw that tower boost down. Actually, that was, yeah, I got the aura, but I missed the trap down there. If I could have put that down a little bit further, I would have caught that trap as well. Now, once again, our goal here is to make sure our wall doesn't die. Anything else can die. As long as the wall doesn't die, we're in good shape. Now, ideally nothing dies, but we're going to see about that. We're going to have to get in there to get that trap repaired. We got that repair off, no problem. And then just going to continue to play the repair simulator as this burns. There's only 20 mobs left, so not much. I'm not even worried about the other side because it's all about what's right here in front of me now. You see, we got him to about half health. Once again, definitely not breaking any records here as far as speedy ogre killing, but we are going to kill it. That I'm very confident of, and that's what really matters, as progressing to the next wave is what's going to get us there. So let's go ahead and finish this bad boy off in sometime over the next 20 minutes, and we'll be good to go to jump forward once again and try out that wave 14 and see if we can't get our pet. Alright, and here we go. We are at wave 14, which is the pet wave, meaning if we clear this one, we are going to be able to move on to the next map. Now, obviously, we can move on to the next map whenever we want. However, of course, you want to collect all the pets, even the good ones, the bad ones. The next map, you're going to be grinding for a little while, so you might as well at least get your pet here from the deeper well. Now, as we see, we've got lots of purples laying around. Once again, there's some 461 miner boots, and it's just basically repair simulator. It really is. I don't have good DPS. My towers don't kill anything remarkably fast, and that just leads to really, really long waves. However, every time you do it, and every time you go through this, you will get a little bit better and a little bit better gear. Now, obviously, of course, you get your skill points as well, so as you're leveling up, that's only going to help you. Just trying to keep the Dark Elves on top of the traps. Ideally, if they're on top of the traps, then the traps are eventually going to kill them. And just kind of repairing, buffing, doing whatever I need to do here. And I've been using my tower boost quite a bit, actually. Just trying to get all this stuff all healed up. Now, the ogres, of course, are an absolute nightmare. We discussed that a moment ago. I will go through the full ogre kill on this one. I'm not going to lie, though. It's painfully slow. There's no doubt. So basically, this side of the map I'm going to be ignoring, so I do want to make sure this side of the map is all squared away before I abandon it. And it's looking pretty good. Everything is repaired up for the most part. So let's go ahead and head on over and take down this ogre with just lightning speed. And just going to keep my T-boost up, the tower boost from the monk, and just repair. So I'm watching both of those explosive traps, the one down below and this one up here. The ogre is actually triggering both of them, which is kind of nice. And you see the one down below is getting a little low, so I'm gonna, even if I die, I'm going to get that repaired. So getting that repaired is the #1 focus. If you die over getting it repaired, as long as you get it repaired, it is without a doubt a win. Now, the ogre swings you can telegraph pretty well, so don't run in and drop your T-boost until you see he's made his swing and he's starting a new backswing. So in the meantime, I'm going to sit here and fire into him. I think I'm only hitting for 66, it looks like. So yeah, the DPS is pretty rough, but we're going to do what we can do. So if we watch his swing, move in, drop the boost, come back out, and we're able to kind of telegraph those swings and stay in between. Now, dropping down to the wall and throwing our tower boost, of course, is getting the aura, and it looks like it's getting both of the traps as well. So that is just good stuff, as it's going to give double damage on all of that stuff. Might actually even be a little safer bet just to repair that trap from up top. It's going to take a while to kill this guy, there's no doubt. Yeah, we can just sneak around right here and get a nice repair off on that trap, and it is just happy times as we wait it out. So just continuing to repair everything else in the process. Wall being the #1 thing. And then whenever I can, dropping that T-boost down in there to make sure that we're getting a little bit extra damage to make this go just a tiny bit quicker. But hopefully this helps everyone break into some survival mode in Dungeon Defenders Awakened. It is really where it's all at, y'all. Campaign is super fun, the challenge maps are going to be super fun, but as far as just like grinding out the gear, survival is always a great spot for it. Now we completed Wave 14, we should have ourselves a pet. And indeed we do. There is a lovely little griffin to take on our journeys. So thank you all once again. I do appreciate everyone watching and all the support over the years with Dungeon Defenders DD2 and now Dungeon Defenders Awakened. So anything that you would like to see, make sure to let me know down in the comments below. I will be doing my best to go through the Dungeon Defenders Awakened Early Access and get as much info out to you all as I can. But this is an entry to survival mode with low stats on a starting hero. So thanks once again, and I will see ya next time around. Take it easy.